the Jaguars beat the Bills, which kind of means the Niners should be ready and beware, right?
Yeah, one of the best teams in the league, right? The Bills, definitely up there.
I mean, they could go
Top
to the Super
five.
Bowl this year if it's not New England or Kansas City.
Absolutely. And Jacksonville was without James Robinson in that game. He tried to go. Something was off. He didn't go. And then Cam Robinson, their starting left tackle, also was out that game with back tightness. Up at the last second, he was down.
Ugh.
So, how did Carlos Hyde and CJ Beathard topple the Bills, right? That's the game where CJ came in and had his two perfect throws. He should have had a touchdown, but it was dropped by the wide receiver, and then there was a penalty, so it didn't work out. But clearly CJ's two completions sealed that win for them. But what did you see in that game? Have you watched enough of it to have a takeaway in your mind as to how in the hell the Bills coughed that one up?
I know a little bit more about Jacksonville than you would expect. I'm a little bit of a Jacksonville expert. Not really an expert. But let me tell you something about that game, all right?
Yeah.
Secret. The Jaguars didn't beat the Bills in that game. The Bills beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what happened, but the Bills didn't show up. The Jaguars don't beat anybody, okay? The Jaguars freaking suck. Sorry. If they're watching, they would probably be like, yeah, we freaking suck. Like, they know it. They were probably the most dysfunctional organization in the league. And I don't even think it's close. I mean, Detroit is pretty bad, but Detroit's pretty bad too. I'm not going to make excuses for Detroit. But look at Jacksonville. They bring in Urban Meyer, who is just a complete joke so far. I mean, within a month, he's really a joke. And all that cachet he had from college, players don't care. No. Players were good in college too. Like, all they care about is, are you going to help me get that next contract? And being on Jacksonville with him the answer is no. So, I mean, I think they're pretty much all looking at him like, well, you are a joke and so are we. So the fact that they have Trevor Lawrence like that, he can't overcome that horrendous debacle of an organization. So the only way the Niners lose this game is if they beat themselves, and they've done that. They have the capability. They could go to Jacksonville, turn the ball over 3 times and lose, but they have to know that that's the only way they're going to lose this game. Like Jacksonville isn't even there anymore. That team is done. They are ready for next year. So just don't beat yourself.
Yeah, I had to do
decent defense.
Definitely decent defense. And that was, to me,
but let's not overstate what Jacksonville is offering here.
No.
They suck.
They are a bad team. When, if we want to get reductionist on it.
I mean, like, that's why it's not like a one-off year. They freaking suck, and they suck every year.
Yes. And to your point around Urban Meyer, like, nobody's playing hard for him at this point after everything that's going on.
I see him for what he is.
Yeah. From what I saw,
college players looked at him as like, okay, you can help me get drafted high. Being on your team helps me helped me get money. But now, is he helping anyone get money right now in Jacksonville? Also, I think he was a celebrity in college, right?
Yes.
He ain't a celebrity now. He's just some bad coach in Jacksonville. I'm sure the people of Jacksonville don't even care about him. They're like, oh yeah, there's that disappointment that we spent a lot of money on. Like, being in the NFL can be very unglamorous. And,
it can. Especially when you're embarrassing your team like he did with that debacle on the bar scene.
These guys have big egos, and being at Ohio State was like an ego boost every day. And then you said, well, now I want to go to the NFL and take my ego to the next level. And then you're in Jacksonville. You're 2-7, and you didn't quite fathom what a shot to your ego this entire experience would be. I don't know how much longer he can take it, man.
That's fair. And I agree with you in the idea that the 49ers, the way in which they lose is they beat themselves. In going back through and rewatching the Jacksonville game against Buffalo, and then in reading up on the breakdowns of the game, it did seem as if they came out with the right game plan on defense. They apparently ran cover 2 shell for the vast majority of it, just to take away the long ball.
Take away those deep shots.
Yeah, take away those deep shots. And so, which is similar to what teams are doing against KC, right?
That's right.
It's sort of the new way in which to hold back these elite offenses.
Make them dink and dunk. Make them play like Mac Jones.
Buffalo needed to be patient. They needed to dink and dunk, and they weren't. Josh Allen got impatient. He tried to force things. He tried to make plays happen. And it was another sort of trap game for them. They came in double-digit favorites, right? Everybody thought that they were going to dominate, mostly healthy, but they weren't along the offensive line. They actually had essentially 3 backups in the game because the left guard and the right tackle were out, and then the right guard slid over to right tackle to cover. A new left guard and right guard came in. So they had that, but the Jags defense was able to take full advantage. The 49ers are set up to dink and dunk, right? That type of a defense is the kind of defense the 49ers want you to play against them. They have almost zero interest in taking those deep shots. And so, but I do worry that part of what the Jags did that completely dismantled Buffalo was the sacks. I mean, they were getting after it. Josh Allen was all over Josh Allen. He was hitting him. 4 sacks, 8 QB hits. If that happens on Sunday, you know the kind of game Jimmy Garoppolo has if he takes 4 sacks and 8 hits. That's the type of game he throws it straight to a linebacker.
Well, and again, this is all in Kyle Shanahan's hands to avoid that. Like, run the freaking ball, dude. How many times does everyone have to tell you to run the damn ball? That's how you avoid that. But if Elijah Mitchell doesn't play, is he going to trust Trey Sermon, who he has decided he doesn't trust for no good reason? And if he doesn't, then there's no way they're going to get more than 25, 28 carries, and they're going to have to drop back 35, 40 times, and anything could happen.
But that could be enough to beat this team. I mean, that really is how bad they are. When you look at what the Bills did, it was atrocious. They had Singletary 6 carries for 16 yards. Moss 3 carries for 6 yards. Only positive was Josh Allen 5 carries for 50 yards. He does what he does.
You got to run the ball against a team that's 2-7 because
carries.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was just echoing that.
You got to run a ball against a team that's 2-7 because stopping the run is like shoveling coal. It's very hard work and it's exhausting and it's not glamorous. And bad teams will be like, I don't want to do this. 2-7. What's the freaking point? It's really hard. We're losing. You break their will. So you got to make them keep stopping the run in the second quarter, in the third quarter. And then their offense goes on the field and go 3 and out. Okay, now more of it. And it doesn't matter how many points you score. You got to score 17 probably to win this game. Just make them keep stopping the run because eventually they'll break. They'll break.
Yeah, the Bills gave up on it. I mean, in a game that was never out of reach, right? Never more than a single possession, never more than a field goal down. They attempted 47 passes. They did what the Niners did against
the Arizona Cardinals a week and a half ago. They're like, oh, whatever. We can just play however, whatever. Doesn't matter.
They attempted 47 passes. If the 49ers attempt anywhere near that, it's a disaster. But again, that goes back to, I think this does fall on the 49ers and their ability to win this game or lose it of their own volition.
How do the Niners win? Run the damn ball. How do they lose? Pass the damn ball. And it's not Jimmy's fault. It's really not Jimmy's fault. Like when they lost, he was actually pretty good against Arizona. There was the fumble from Debo, the fumble from Kittle, the 5 sacks. Now he walked into a few of those, but it's the whole offense's inability to execute pass plays, not the quarterback. The whole offense's inability. Once they get to the run game, the offensive line is an asset, and everything works from there.
It has to be about running the ball on Sunday, regardless of whether Mitchell, who I gather is now doubtful after today's designation, whether it's Jeff Wilson Jr. or finally getting some more carries for Sermon. You have to shoot for that 30 carries yet again.